I'll be totally honest with you, I am excited for this upcoming year of COD. There's absolutely no denying that. From a fundamental perspective, I think that this hits the nail on the head in just about every aspect that we've been shown so far, but out of all the crazy cool things and even some of the different things we're seeing for the first time, like 10v10, 20v20 and upwards, there's one aspect that really stands out to me that I literally am chomping at the bit to play again. Like, I cannot wait, and I'm seriously hoping that this comes to the beta because it is so much fun to play, it is so addicting, and I need more of it. That's 2v2. The brand new Gunfight mode, or I guess it could be a reintroduction of some of the face-off mentality from Modern Warfare 3, reintroduces or rebrands the mode and polishes it off to bring it up to speed of where we're at in today's current gaming industry. And today I want to talk a little bit more about the experiences that we'll end up seeing here at this one, why it's honestly so fun and so addicting, and some of the really cool upcoming features that we may have mentioned here in passing but never really dove into. And some of that stuff is really cool. I think you'll be honestly really intrigued to hear about that and to learn a little bit more about it. So that said, let's start out at the very basic building blocks here. 2v2 Gunfight. Why is it fun? Why is it so addicting? What makes it special? Well, first and foremost, I think probably the biggest portion here that really chalks this up as a winner in my mind is the intensity and the competition that comes along with it, even just in regular, what will be public matches of 2v2 Gunfight modes. It's not going to be something that has a dedicated competitive ladder or anything like that that we know of just yet. I think it'd be kind of cool to see that implemented, and I do think that I remember hearing a little bit of whispers about the talk of implementing that kind of stuff, but nothing really ever set in stone at that point back in May. But it's something that even just the very nature of it, 2v2, very small maps, very small time frames, and you just need to get it done as quick and as methodical as possible. Taking the core public match competition of, say, a 6v6 TDM or a 6v6 domination match or an overtime round and search and destroy probably is the better way to put it with the intensity there. Taking that down and shrinking it down to a 2v2 level and a much more miniature scale in terms of maps, you're really conscious of your every single move and you have to be smart about it, which is, to me, very fun. The competition heats up. But it also really does a great job of giving you, if you're, say, somebody that wants to start out and not really risk too much in, say, maybe public match stats, it gives you a familiarity with pretty much every single gun. While I don't think that we have seen footage of every single weapon across the entire catalog of weapons that we've seen from our behind closed doors event in May to where we are now, we have seen an absolute large majority of the weapons throughout at least a couple of rounds of 2v2 Gunfight. It ends up giving you a random loadout each individual round, and I think it's on a rotation of 2 rounds where you end up switching out to a completely different loadout, but you end up going in with a set stable build, and you don't create any sort of class going into this, and so therefore it's solely up to whatever the game wants to randomly give you. So you could go in with a sniper, you could go in with a pistol, but you got to get the job done regardless. And so therefore it starts to throw you into situations where you have to learn those weapons, how to get good with them, how to get the kills, but it also doesn't pit you at an unfair advantage. For one example, I know the sniping community is very good at this and they have practiced it to get to the point where it is a competitive weapon even against everything else, but in most scenarios, a sniper versus, say, a rifle or an SMG is more than likely going to be at a disadvantage. But if everybody has that AX-50 sniper rifle, well, it's an even playing ground and it comes down to who utilizes it the best. And so therefore, it starts to allow for some on-the-fly learning of each weapon and how to master them. And that's something that personally, I absolutely love too. And as a result of that, not only just the tense moments and the build-up of the competition, but also then the constant on-the-fly nature of changing your playstyle and adjusting to the situations given with each random weapon, it ends up giving a constant need to want to do better. And this, having played this now for a couple of hours now at a time, back in May and then also at the reveal event, I haven't felt this level of I want to jump back in and compete since Black Ops 2's League play. I grinded that out daily back in the day. I think that I hit Master Prestige in the first 2 or 3 months or so within that, but then played the literal rest of that main year of content support, and I grinded out League play every single day. So I have no clue if there's going to be a competitive ladder. I mentioned that already. I heard whispers and talks that it might be something they implement, but if there is, you already know I'm climbing that. But that constant need to want and do better captures what I think is on a mental level of what battle royales recently do really well with, where you're thrown in a competition and every time you just want to do better. Whether you're in battle royale standpoints finishing last, 10th, 2nd, or 1st, it's an exhilarating rush that becomes addictive, but on a much smaller scale, Gunfight offers that, that it's a faster pace. It's something you can jump back into games. You can finish a game in as little as 3 minutes. Courier Ink Slasher and I ended up 6-0ing a team twice in a row at the reveal event, but we also ended up playing a game that went to almost about 7 minutes because it went round limit. So even at the very longest, you're still in and out of matches faster than most public match games. TDM doesn't normally even last 10 minutes, and so therefore you're maybe on par with that and probably quicker in most cases than even the shortest of TDMs. So to me, that intensity, that learning new weapons and mastering every weapon and the constant need and want to do better every single match, that's something that just has made this an absolutely addicting experience. And I seriously hope that it's in the beta because I want everybody to be able to try this and feel that same addictive nature as I do, because it is something that is so fun. But what I absolutely love is that even this base level of it isn't all that we're gonna see. There are some really cool upcoming features, I think, that if utilized properly can honestly change the entire game for Modern Warfare and maybe even Call of Duty as a whole, how the players interact with each other at a more competitive level, but also just a casual level as well, setting up some really cool things. The one, I'm really hoping it's in the beta. I have no idea if they're going to include it, again, if 2v2 is even gonna be in there, but I would love to see what we saw back in May and also what I think was showcased at the reveal event. I didn't get to watch the full thing at that point. I was still on vacation, but they had built-in tournament brackets of 16 teams. We experienced this all the way back. It was fully functional, fully operational again in May. That's where I got my firsthand experience on it, and I absolutely loved it. You and your duo can queue up against 15 other teams to be placed in a standard bracket style format where if you win your match, you advance, but then losers go home. And that's built into the game. That's something that I think is the coolest part, because I know there's been GBs and other tournaments and everything like that that you can do with third-party sites that have been around forever. But you don't need to do anything special where you have to report your win or dispute a win or a loss, or then have to wait for an invite from another team and then hope that your host is good, then check to make sure everyone's all right. It's all built into the game. It takes that hassle entirely out of the equation. The most you'll probably have to do is wait a few minutes before being thrown into another match, because maybe the team that you're queued up against then isn't finished with their match before, to see who goes on and goes further in the tournament. That kind of stuff is not only just huge for just playing and experiencing the game on a different level, but from my perspective, I'm super excited to stream that. I'm so excited to start viewer competitions, jump in and to play with everybody and go for the crown at the end, to kind of set up a little community of people gunning to be the best here, and we can all just have a good time together. I think that is absolutely so cool and so fantastic. Another thing that goes even above and beyond this is that that might not be the only part that we end up seeing. I hope I'm allowed to say this. I think that I am. But when we were talking to the studio about 2v2 and some of the things coming along with it, and on the idea and prospect of those built-in bracket play tournaments, the mention was brought up that they were looking to do even super brackets, as I think they were dubbed, where it was chatter of 64 team brackets, taking that competition to even the next level. I think that would be honestly insane. That would be so cool. And also there was talks also for rewards for winning bracket play tournaments, which I think would be also really cool and could be something done tremendously well. You see other games doing, say, exclusive camos or skins for reaching a certain rank or something like that, and that could be done exactly like that. Reward players with a camo, with a skin, with something that said, hey, I competed in this and I absolutely blew it away. I think that'd be really cool to do. Now, what also is awesome is that the upcoming features also have denoted that there's going to be 1v1 and 3v3 play. Now, this was confirmed just right now for private matches, where if you wanted to jump in, you could end up altering how you could experience the system, but that could easily make for something that maybe an LTM or maybe even another stable mode, where you saw that Apex Legends recently just did away with their squad system and you could play solos for a limited time mode. Maybe that's one of the things that is introduced in this sort of same fashion, where for a limited time, Gunfight is changed to 1v1s or 3v3s, or adds that on in addition so as to not take away from the standard 2v2 gameplay. Also, there were things like a pickup variation where you could literally alter it so you have to pick up weapons and equipment off the ground to use for each of those. And that's something that was showcased a little bit in the 2v2 Gunfight reveal event. I'm not entirely sure, again, if it was in the full-on reveal event. I wasn't at a PC to watch that or anything, but that could also be a limited time mode where it's something you have to pick up and just utilize anything you find, whereas you don't even have a set loadout to begin with. And I think one of the coolest things with that is that might even be a hint towards Battle Royale. Just saying, it's already implemented. It's something that is built in, but there's a lot coming up on deck with 2v2 Gunfight. And realistically, even though it might not be Call of Duty as we know it, 6v6 TDM domination, search and destroy, so on and so forth, it is something that is such a breakaway and something so different. And even though we've seen it in Modern Warfare 3 with Face Off, being that it's one of the things that's being heavily marketed with Modern Warfare, I am so excited to jump back into it. Having played it again a little bit, it is just addicting beyond belief. And I really hope that it does come relatively soon. I hope that other people can experience this, and I hope that it is in the beta. But that's where we're going to wrap it up. Just wanted to have a casual discussion here with you guys about this because it's been something that's been on my mind. I want to play all of Modern Warfare. Don't get me wrong. I want to jump back in, play some more TDM. I want to play some more Cyber Attack. That was a really fun new mode. I want to play some 10v10 and 20v20. But I think the thing that I'm really just, again, chomping at the bit to play again is 2v2 Gunfight. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you guys looking forward to 2v2 out of what you've seen so far? Does it look fun? Does it look addicting? Does it look entertaining? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, gameplay reveals, all that kind of stuff. We got you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best place to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. So you guys want to straight up a conversation, ask me a question, where it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But let's get out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My Smith Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.